what do you think people see when they look at you?
Look, you see our gold chains and our flashy cars. I see a lack of self-worth and I see battle scars. He has to be with 20 man when he wears jewellery, and you see it as gangster, I see it as insecurity. Where I'm from, everybody wants to make it out, but nobody wants to see somebody make it out. It ain't about who came.
Welcome back to the channel. What's good, guys? Just got done with some steps, a little morning walk, morning expenditure, got some rays, set a circadian rhythm, all that good stuff. So step goal is about 10 to 11K at the moment, so just got about 4,500 done in that time, so a nice chunk. Now on this cut I've been using a few different fat loss supplements we got here, which I will walk you through. The first, I take an hour pre-cardio or steps. My heart rate doesn't get that high, so technically not cardio, but it is L-carnitine. This is an amino acid that assists in the transport of fat that's mobilized out of the fat cell into then the mitochondria to then be oxidized or burned for fuel. So that's kind of the whole fat loss process at like a scientific term. So I got injectable because the oral bioavailability is terrible. It also converts to something called TMAO, which you don't really want. So you'd have to take a ridiculous amount of pills to get 500 milligrams of just 100% bioavailable injectable. So a ton of other benefits aside from fat loss, like brain health, heart health. It reduces oxidative stress. It's good for fertility. Not that I'm going to have any little Oscar guys running around anytime soon, but nevertheless, keeping those guys high quality. With the L-carnitine, I also take reuolocine, which has only been in for the last like 4-ish weeks. So this is like a stimulant-based fat burner that acts by blocking the alpha-2 adrenergic receptors, yada yada, which increases the release of norepinephrine along with other like things like dopamine. It's more sympathetic drive, so like fight or flight can get the heart rate up, helps with that first part of the fat loss process, so the mobilization out of the fat cell to then be transported, which then I'm using L-carnitine to help with that transport to then get it into the mitochondria to then be burned. So reuolocine may not be something I add in right away, like in your cut, like this day you start your cut from the get-go, because it does come with its own set of fatigue and on your nervous system as well. So your whole diet, you're kind of playing the game of managing fatigue. So this is something I'd add in towards the end potentially, when you're left with more of those like stubborn areas to get off. You could call it like maybe the lower abs, lower back, those things. You shouldn't really need it anyway when you're starting your diet, because you should have like food and calories to work with. But yeah, then I have a combination of growth hormone releasing peptides to help with lipolysis during cardio as well. And what else can be considered fat loss supplements? I guess indirectly selenium, zinc, and iodine could be considered fat loss supplements, because your thyroid does kind of regulate your metabolism. So if you're not getting an adequate amount of selenium, zinc, and iodine, your thyroid hormone output is going to take a hit, and you need those three to make the thyroid hormone. So during a diet, thyroid hormone will downregulate anyway, so it's super important you're getting those in, because if your thyroid hormone crashes, you're going to be dieting on super low calories. You're going to have to do a ton of expenditure, like also you're not going to be feeling too good. So speaking from personal experience, not a great situation to be in. So selenium, iodine, zinc, get those in, and that is all for the fat loss supplements.
Yo, the saga begins.
Also, I guess you could consider caffeine a fat loss supplement in some regard. Caffeine I find probably one of the most useful of them all. Just gotta use, don't abuse. But I guess you could pretty much say that for everything. But yeah, not only will it give you energy, which will naturally increase your expenditure without even having to do anything, but it will also, I use it in a fasted state, so it's really helpful with blunting appetite during my fasting morning window, and also alongside my other nootropics. I also throw in an adaptogen product and colostrum, huge, and then I got Brian Johnson's cocoa for some polyphenols as well in there. So it tastes pretty damn good. It's like a chocolate cold brew, extremely low calorie, and Yeah, the only downside is I do have a couple boys that go wild with it. You know who you are, and the only issue with that is that it can have a huge negative impact on your sleep quality, which is a big no-no, especially for fat loss. So as long as you cut your caffeine off by 2 p.m., 12 p.m. ideally, maybe take some L-theanine with it if you have it at like 2 because it helps metabolize caffeine. Also found a new supplement called Rutacarpine, which can actually speed up the metabolism of caffeine. I don't know if there's any human studies on it yet, but yeah, gonna have to experiment with that, do a little N of 1 experiment using my sleep data on Whoop, see if it changes anything. Also, I know a lot of people say I can drink caffeine and then I fall asleep fine, but your sleep quality, I can promise you, is getting messed up unless you're like a 1% outlier that metabolizes caffeine so fast, which is very unlikely, which is why I think everyone for some period in life should track your sleep, get an objective look into your quality, because you may think you sleep, yeah, like I sleep 8 hours, but in reality, maybe in bed for 8 hours, but you're only sleeping 6, and then out of that 6, you're getting barely any deep and REM. So, yeah, food for thought.
Tell me who can stop me, nigga. Nobody stop this shit. For real. Nigga, it ain't nobody can stop this. I done did my time, nigga, watch this. I done did my grieving. Sitting in the hole, trying to fill me out of grievance. Trying to hit the street quick, know my mama need me. For peace sake, her big black, know I'm bleeding. He say, she say, I don't really need it. Don't vote rappers, it gotta be for a reason. I've been through the trials and the tribulation, believe me. I've been through everything, nigga. I've been through hell and back. I've been through jail and back. Nigga still ain't start this shit. Still can't start this shit. I'll be the greatest, nigga. Feel like I live something. Like Papa something. For real. It's like I can't let up, nigga. Got so many people depending on me, nigga. What I look like, stop and turn it back. I'm out real close to where I'm trying to be at. Dang. Yeah. And I had problems. Humble as ever, man, I ain't geek, no power. I had to shake back. Lord, forgive me, this shit I wish that I could take back. Please, I'm sorry. Knees in the water. Reason and pleading. Spent G's on a lawyer and pleaded off. On my knees, I was begging and pleading. Lord, please forgive me, but still ain't no beating the charges. It's me, that's the problem. Ain't nobody tell me grab the keys in the car and speeding up off it. Lying to your honor. Looking in the eyes, told the judge I'm a child who just needed a father. My reasons for prosper. Poverty, I was broke, heart broke. Feel like I needed a doctor. I ain't never seen me being a doctor. You did what you expected, am I pleasing you, mama? I ain't never seen me being a father. Better yet, I ain't never seen me losing a daughter. Streets here, I've been losing my pawn. It's crazy, I can see them on the news, but can't call them. Head fucked up, ain't used to
New Represent hoodie. What do you guys think? If you haven't checked out last video, check it out. Got the part of the Represent Vault sale haul. I think this was like 70% off. Quite the steal. So this is the second half of the fat loss supplement stack, and it's kind of the biohacking-esque side of things. So it's a combination of SLU PB332, MOTS-C, and then methylene blue and NAD. NAD plus has been huge for me as well for the mold detox, because mold poisons your mitochondria, so this is helping repair it. So this stack is kind of meant to up-regulate mitochondrial efficiency. When you do that, you burn more fat, you have more energy because you're creating more ATP, and the list goes on. So I first got MOTS-C, which increases the number of mitochondria. SLU then improves the mitochondria's ability to create energy and lowers oxidative stress. And then methylene blue improves how oxygenated the mitochondria is. It improves its efficiency as well, and lowers oxidative stress too. So generating far more ATP than my cells could ever create on their own. Also, the mitochondria are the rate limiting factor when it comes to burning fatty acids. Now, don't take these. Like, I'm basically half experimenting, basically taking the mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell, and like cranking and like supercharging. So it's like some dark arts going on here. This one not approved for human use yet, so we have no idea what the long-term effects are, if there are any, so keep that in mind if you want to dabble in these peptides that act on the mitochondria. Methylene blue, there's a ton of data on. This was actually the first pharmaceutical in like the 1800s, which is crazy. So you got to look at the research if you want to dabble in this stuff, understand what each of these are doing. Granted, you could just look up YouTube videos, but I would highly suggest giving yourself a comprehensive understanding, or at least somewhat comprehensive understanding, before you dive into any of these, or any peptides, to be honest. And yeah, this isn't medical advice either. I feel like I have to say that. These peptides are not over-the-counter supplements, except for, you can buy methylene blue pretty much everywhere, but the rest of these, if you're good, don't buy them from some random website. I only get these from like trusted sources. You can use my code below, which is pending, because they are third-party tested, they post their results, and it's a gray area when it comes to peptides. They're unregulated, so be smart. Don't buy them from a company that doesn't do third-party testing. So yeah, like I said, hopefully a link will be in the description when this video drops, or on my link tree. And then of course we have Gorilla Mind Calm to drive parasympathetic tone in the evening, which is extremely conducive to fat loss. So outside of our training, we want to be in a parasympathetic dominant state the majority, if not all the time. Not realistic, but that's the goal. So we have two branches to our autonomic nervous system. We have our fight or flight, which is like our sympathetic state. This is what kicks in, say you're walking down the street and a tiger jumps out at you, adrenaline goes up, cortisol goes up, pupils dilate. And then we have the parasympathetic. This is like your rest and digest, chill, zen, and that is where we want to be, honestly, most of the time. So supplements with adaptogens and saffron are great. Things even like meditation or focus on controlled breathing, longer exhales than inhales has been something I've been trying to consciously do. So like whenever I'm just like random shit like cooking, driving, I'm like, okay, this is a time where I could potentially focus on my breathing, try to just get the exhale a little longer, do some guided breathing. I haven't found like a good app yet, so if you have any recommendations, I'm trying to get into some guided breathing meditation during the sauna. The sauna, I just like pull up YouTube videos and stuff, so I think that time could be better used focusing on my breathing, or meditating potentially. We'll see. The Wake You Up app by Sam Harris, that's been it's been a little tempting. So anyway, that is a wrap on today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed, got some value out of the fat loss supplement stack, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.